Capricorn, there's a tremor running through the roots of your bloodline tonight. You can't see it, but you can feel it. The quiet in your family home isn't peace, it's the sound before revelation. It's that heavy stillness that comes when truth stands at the door, waiting to be spoken. Lately, the air around you has felt strange, like someone's laughter is forced, or like a story has been told too many times to still be real. You sense something shifting behind the smiles, something sacred and secret, whispering your name from the walls of memory. Spirit says, this is not your imagination. This is remembrance. Something your soul already knows is about to meet your understanding. A truth that has waited for generations is now choosing you. The grounded one, the silent healer, the watcher who feels too much but says too little. You were never meant to just inherit names and blood, Capricorn. You were chosen to inherit clarity. And clarity is coming. Sudden, sharp, undeniable. It will not come to break your family, but to cleanse it, to remove the dust from buried love, to let what's real finally breathe again. You may not be ready for what surfaces, but your spirit is. You were built for this unveiling. So before we step into the heart of this message, write these words in the comments. I'm ready for truth and peace. Say it not as a wish, but as a command to the universe. Because once this truth rises, Capricorn, the air around your name will change. The silence will end, and what has slept in your bloodline will finally open its eyes. Capricorn, every family has a heartbeat. The rhythm of laughter, pain, and survival passed down from one generation to another. But in your family, that heartbeat has sometimes felt uneven, like it carries an echo of something unresolved. You might not see it in plain sight, but deep within your spirit, you can feel it. An emotional vibration that doesn't belong to you yet lives inside you. You were born with a sensitivity to energy, a natural awareness of things left unsaid. That's why you've always noticed the sudden silence when certain topics arise, the quick change of subject, the way someone's eyes turn away when the past is mentioned. These are not coincidences. They are signs that something within your bloodline has been kept hidden, a truth that once protected the family, but now keeps it bound. For years, someone in your family may have carried guilt in silence. Someone else may have lived a life pretending not to remember. But secrets have a life of their own. Capricorn, they grow restless when ignored. And lately, that restlessness has found you. You might have felt strange dreams, seeing family members who've passed away, or feeling emotional without knowing why. Sometimes, you may look at an old photograph and feel sadness that doesn't make sense, or find yourself repeating behaviors you promised you'd never do. These are not random moments. They are ancestral echoes, fragments of history trying to find healing through you. Spirit has chosen you for this task because your energy holds strength and patience. You are the one in your family who questions, who observes, who feels deeply but endures quietly. And Spirit whispers to your heart, you are the one who can break this pattern. This revelation will not come loudly. It might appear softly, through a casual comment at a family gathering, a forgotten letter found in a drawer, or a confession spoken in tears. The truth may reveal itself in layers, each one peeling away a piece of confusion that has lingered for years. Capricorn, do not fear what is coming to light. You were not sent to your family to carry their pain, you were sent to transform it. The truth that's surfacing is not a punishment, it's a promise. A promise that the generational weight will finally lift, that your family can breathe again. When this truth reaches you, listen. Not with judgment, but with understanding. Because healing begins the moment one brave soul decides to face what everyone else has avoided. And in your family, that soul is you. Capricorn, silence has lived in your family like a ghost that no one dares to name. It sits quietly at the dinner table. It lingers in the pauses between conversations. It hides behind the smiles everyone wears when they're pretending everything is fine. But silence has energy, and over time it begins to speak louder than words. Your family has carried this silence for too long. It started with good intentions. To keep peace, to avoid conflict, to protect what's fragile. But what was meant to protect has now turned into a cage. Every unspoken truth, every buried emotion has woven itself into the very atmosphere of your home. You can almost feel it, that heaviness in the air when everyone's together, that tension that no one dares to address. For years, you've played the role of the stabilizer, the one who absorbs the weight, the one who keeps harmony even when your heart feels unsettled. You've smiled when you wanted to cry, stayed calm when you wanted to scream, and kept the peace when your soul craved honesty. But Spirit says, you cannot heal what you keep pretending is whole. Soon, Capricorn, something will break this long silence. It could be a conversation that begins innocently and ends with tears. It could be an unexpected confession, or an emotional outburst that reveals what everyone already knew but refused to face. This confrontation will not be comfortable. Truth rarely is. But understand this, behind every raised voice, behind every trembling word, there is divine purpose. Spirit is moving through your family like a cleansing wind, stirring everything that has been suppressed, pushing every lie and hidden hurt into the open light. This is not chaos without reason, it is divine realignment. It's heaven's way of saying, enough pretending, it's time to heal. You may feel anger, you may feel disappointment or confusion, but as you stand in that moment, remember, this is not about destruction, it's about transformation. It's about breaking the illusion that peace can exist without truth. You've carried this unspoken energy for so long that your spirit has started to ache for release. And now, the universe is answering that ache. What was once whispered behind closed doors will soon find its voice. And though it may shake your family's foundation, what remains afterward will finally be real. The truth coming forth is not an accident, Capricorn. It is the universe's way of cleansing your bloodline of old energy, jealousy, rivalry, guilt, unspoken pain. The divine has chosen this moment because your family's destiny is shifting. It's time for the cycle to end. Let it unfold. Let the silence break. Because on the other side of this storm, peace will no longer have to pretend. Capricorn, there is someone in your family whose presence has always felt like a puzzle. Someone whose actions and words never seem to fully align. They've smiled at you, but something behind their eyes never matched the warmth in their voice. You've tried to trust them, tried to silence your intuition, convincing yourself you were imagining things. But deep down, you always knew something wasn't right. This person has lived behind a mask of control, of kindness, of normalcy. They wear it not because they are pure, but because they fear what would happen if the truth were seen. Somewhere along the line, they chose image over honesty, and for a long time, everyone believed the image. But Spirit says, you were never paranoid, you were perceptive. That unease you felt, that gut feeling that told you something was off, it was your spirit recognizing a lie. The time of illusions is ending, Capricorn. God is removing the layers of deceit, and soon this person's true nature will stand exposed. You won't need to argue, investigate, or force the truth to come out. It will reveal itself naturally, through a moment of divine timing. When words slip, when masks crack, when pretense can no longer hold under the weight of truth. And when that happens, everything you sensed but couldn't prove will suddenly make perfect sense. You'll understand why you were pushed away when you were only trying to help. Why you were blamed for things you didn't do. Why you felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. This person's actions were never a reflection of your worth. They were a reflection of their wounds. They operated from fear, jealousy, or guilt, and you simply stood too close to their shadow. When this mask falls, you might feel a storm of emotions. Shock, anger, even sadness, not just for what they did, but for what they pretended to be. You'll grieve not the person, but the illusion you once believed in. But Spirit reminds you, grief is not punishment, it is purification. Your tears will not be wasted. They will wash away the false image that stood between you and peace. When the mask falls, the truth may sting, but it will also set you free. You will begin to see your family dynamics more clearly, without confusion or guilt. The blame that once weighed on your shoulders will dissolve, and clarity will take its place. Capricorn, the unveiling will hurt, but it will heal you. Because the moment truth stands naked, manipulation loses its power. And though you may lose the illusion of closeness, you will gain the freedom of authenticity. Spirit says this fall of the mask is not an ending, it's a cleansing. A sacred unveiling that will finally allow peace to enter where deceit once lived. Capricorn, every generation carries one soul who sees what others refuse to see, the one who questions what's been accepted, who senses what others dismiss. In your family, that soul is you. You were not born to blend into the pattern, you were born to rewrite it. Spirit placed you in this bloodline for a reason, not to repeat the pain, but to release it. You were born under an energy of deep awareness, a natural wisdom that makes you see beyond appearances. Even as a child, you probably felt older than your age, observing, noticing, understanding things that others ignored. You've always felt the emotional weight of your family without being told the story behind it. That's because your spirit remembers what the bloodline forgot. And now, that memory is awakening. The truth that's surfacing isn't random. It's a sacred appointment written into your destiny. Your ancestors have been waiting for this moment, for you to stand where they could not, to speak what they were forbidden to say. They see in you the courage they once needed. They see in you the heart strong enough to break the chain. When the emotional heaviness around your family grows, understand this. It's not only your burden, it's energy releasing through you. The pain, the shame, the silence that generations before you could not express. You are the vessel through which freedom flows. That's why some days you feel drained, emotional, or suddenly nostalgic. That's your ancestors moving through you, guiding you toward restoration. Pay attention to the subtle signs around you. You may dream of old houses, keys, doors, or rings. These are sacred symbols. Keys represent unlocking what was hidden. Doors symbolize transition, moving from pain to peace. And rings, Capricorn, are the symbol of completion, the closing of a generational cycle. When these signs appear, Spirit is confirming the awakening is happening through you. You might notice family members suddenly reaching out, old memories resurfacing, or random conversations opening emotional wounds. Do not run from it. This is not coincidence, this is divine choreography. The universe is aligning everything so that the hidden truth finally meets the light. But Capricorn, Spirit gives you this guidance. As the truth unfolds, respond with wisdom, not wrath. You were not chosen to destroy, you were chosen to heal. You are not here to expose for revenge, but to enlighten for release. Let your words carry peace, even when your heart shakes. Let your presence be the light that enters every dark corner your family has avoided for generations. Because through your grace, your family's story is being rewritten. Through your strength, generations behind you are finding rest. And through your awakening, your lineage is finally remembering what love without secrets feels like. Capricorn, the truth has surfaced. And now, silence has been replaced by sound. The sound of hearts breaking open, of words trembling in the air, of years of emotions finally finding their way to light. This is the part of the story no one warns you about. The part where clarity feels both like relief and pain at once. The part where the peace you prayed for begins as chaos. When the truth first rises, it doesn't always arrive gently. It comes like a storm. It shakes the walls of denial, rattles old memories, and brings to the surface all the emotions your family buried beneath smiles. Tears may fall, not only from sadness but from release. Anger may appear, not only from blame but from recognition. You may even feel like the ground beneath your feet has shifted, like you no longer know where you belong. But Spirit says, do not run from this moment. Sit with it. Feel it fully. Do not rush to fix what is breaking open, because sometimes healing demands the breaking first. You cannot clean a wound that remains covered. You cannot rebuild on top of a lie. This is why the universe is allowing every hidden emotion, every buried confession, every uncomfortable memory to rise, so that your soul and your family can finally breathe truth. Spirit whispers softly, after the truth comes peace. But before peace comes, there must be release. And that release will move through tears, silence, forgiveness, and patience. Capricorn, you are not losing your family. You are helping them find their way back to authenticity, to love that is real, to connection that is no longer bound by secrets. This process may look messy, even painful, but beneath the surface, something holy is taking place. Old wounds are being reopened, yes, but this time they are being cleaned, not ignored. They are being healed with awareness, not hidden under fear. You will notice changes, not only in others, but within yourself. You'll begin to see your family with new eyes. You'll understand things you couldn't before. Why certain patterns kept repeating, why some people distanced themselves, why love in your family sometimes felt conditional. These realizations may break your heart, but they will also set you free. And Spirit reminds you, forgive the past. Forgiveness does not mean you agree with what happened. It means you are choosing not to carry the poison that others created. It means you are releasing yourself from pain that was never yours to hold. You might not receive an apology from everyone. Some may still pretend nothing happened. Some will hold on to pride, fear, or denial. But forgiveness is not for them. It is for your soul. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace. You stop being the vessel that carries everyone else's unhealed pain. You allow heaven to take what your heart no longer can. And Spirit says, some will thank you for your strength. Others may turn away from you, not because you were wrong, but because truth terrifies those who live comfortably in illusion. Do not chase after them. You did not come to be understood by everyone. You came to fulfill a divine mission. You came to bring truth where denial ruled, and light where darkness hid. You are the spiritual bridge between the old and the new, between what your family has been and what it's becoming. Through you, karmic cycles are being broken. Through you, honesty is being restored. And through you, generations of silence are finally finding their voice. Capricorn, when the storm calms, something powerful happens. You will feel it in your body, a lightness, as if a spiritual weight has lifted. You'll walk into your home and feel the air different. Even the walls will seem to breathe easier. The arguments that once felt endless will lose their power. The grudges that once defined your family's energy will begin to dissolve. This is the aftermath of truth, quiet, pure, sacred. Do not be surprised if the divine begins to bless your family afterward. New beginnings will arise. Unexpected peace between relatives who once avoided each other. Forgiveness in the hearts of those who swore they'd never speak again. This is what happens when hidden energy is released. It doesn't only heal the living, it heals the ancestors, too. Those who came before you, who carried pain they couldn't express, are now finding rest through your courage. When you cried, they were crying with you. When you chose peace, they were cheering for you. Your bravery has become their liberation. And Spirit says, you were not chosen because you were the strongest. You were chosen because you were the most faithful. Because even when your heart was tired, you still believed in love. Even when you felt misunderstood, you still sought truth. Even when you carried more than your share, you still prayed for peace instead of revenge. This is what makes you the healer of your lineage. Soon you'll begin to notice blessings flowing in areas that once felt blocked. Finances improving, relationships softening, opportunities returning. Because when truth is restored, energy begins to move freely again. The divine cannot bless what is buried in lies. But now, Capricorn, the air around you is clear. The energy that once resisted you will now start working for you. So breathe. The storm has done its work. It has revealed, cleansed, and purified. Now comes the stillness. Not the silence of denial, but the silence of peace. A quietness that feels sacred, earned, and real. You may find yourself sitting alone one day, remembering everything that happened, the pain, the revelations, the tears. And in that moment you'll realize you didn't just survive it, you transformed it. You turned family karma into family healing. You turned secrets into lessons. You turned heartbreak into a legacy of truth. Spirit smiles upon you and says, well done, Capricorn. You did what others couldn't. And now you will live lighter, love deeper, and stand taller. Because you faced the storm, and instead of letting it destroy your home, you allowed it to wash your family clean. So rest now, Capricorn. Let the winds settle. Let your heart unclench. You've done your part, and the universe has witnessed your endurance. From this point forward, peace will not be something you chase. It will be something that lives within you. It will visit your home, your dreams, and even your children's children. The healing has begun. And this time, Capricorn, it will last. Capricorn, the truth that has risen in your family is not here to destroy, it's here to redefine. What once felt like a breaking is actually a rebuilding. Every tear shed, every word spoken, every silence shattered, they were all part of a divine design meant to cleanse your lineage and bring balance back to your home. The hidden truth was never meant to punish anyone. It came to free the honest, to humble the proud, and to heal what was silently bleeding beneath the surface. You, Capricorn, have walked through this storm with wisdom beyond your years. You've been the bridge between what was and what will be. The one who refused to let history repeat itself, the protector of truth, the carrier of divine correction. So when fear tries to whisper that you've lost too much, remember this: the truth is not your enemy. It is your inheritance. It carries the blessing your ancestors prayed for but never lived to see. It may shake the walls, yes, but it will rebuild them stronger, steadier, and holier than before. Comment once more below: truth brings peace to my family. And as you type it, say it softly to yourself, not just as words, but as a declaration over your life, your home, and every generation that will come after you. Capricorn, if this message has spoken to your spirit, do not leave without subscribing. Not out of habit, but as a symbol of your choice. A choice to walk in light, in clarity, and in divine wisdom. To let no illusion hold power over your soul again. Because this is your season of revelation, the time when everything hidden becomes clear. And once truth stands in your home, no shadow will ever rule your family again. Be ready, Capricorn. Your lineage is breathing again, with light, with love, and with peace that no lie can ever steal.